last points we discussed? You also left your note at home? Notebook at home? Huh? Yesterday's class. What was the main point? I was not there in the school. I was taking the class from home. Yes, Abhishek. What are, at least give me one or two which you can easily connect and say application of Henry's law. First one is surely 100% you know the example.
An example?
Yeah, application. We discussed, there are 4 examples, 3 of them we discussed already. What was that?
I think there were 2 points, right? For example, there were 3.
Yes, Taisir, what was that 2 points?
First one was the carbonated drink one, like CO2 is dissolved. Like one state is open and like at lower pressure, the new one state dissolved. And the second one was like the oxygen and the blood, oxygen dissolving in the blood.
Yeah, how the oxygen is getting dissolved in blood. It comes and get dissolved. What is the reason? How it is connecting Henry's law? That is the area where you need to explain. How carbonated drinks is applicable or shows a Henry's law, satisfies Henry's law because it is canned at a high pressure. It's closed at a very high pressure. So when you're opening the can at normal pressure, at the room condition, the pressure is very less. So the dissolved gas will escape. So that is a satisfying Henry's law. Similarly, the dissolving oxygen.
So when oxygen in the air is high, so it dissolves into the blood.
How it is? Why oxygen is dissolving into the blood from lungs? Because
oxygen that we breathe in has a pressure that is higher than the pressure around us. The pressure has a total pressure. So this pressure causes the oxygen to get dissolved into our lungs.
The pressure of oxygen is very high in lungs compared to the pressure of oxygen in the cell or tissues area. So in the lungs, because of high pressure, it gets dissolved in the blood. And when it reaches to cell or tissue where the oxygen is required, the pressure is less, so it get undissolved or it get become less soluble. So what happened? It will be freed. It will be released as oxygen gas. So that is what applicable happens in the case of dissolving oxygen, right? Okay. Third one. Let's choose somebody who is sitting at home. Okay. Yes, Ayan. Ayan, what was the third example application of Henry's law? Ayan?
Scuba divers.
What scuba divers is doing and how it is affected or it is related to Henry's law? What is the
Yes, ma'am. When scuba divers go underwater, they deal with high concentrations of dissolved gas. Um, when they come towards the surface, the pressure gradually decreases. So this releases the dissolved gases and leads to the formation of what, bubbles of nitrogen in the blood. Due to this, it creates blockage in the capillaries and creates a medical condition called bends.
So what they will do to avoid it?
To avoid this, the tanks used by the scuba divers are filled with air diluted with helium, that is 11.7% helium, 56.2% nitrogen, and 32.1% oxygen.
Very good, Ayan. At least you could read and explain from what I was explaining. But it's okay if you're doing it this way, or if you can explain it in your own words, that is also fine. Only thing is that if scuba divers are taking normal air in their tank or in their cylinder when they are going for diving, the normal air is contains 78% of nitrogen So under the water, under the sea, bottom level of the sea, because of high pressure, these nitrogen will get dissolved in our blood. So that is, gas get dissolved at higher pressure. But when they come back to the sea level, at the top level, because the pressure is decreasing, the dissolved nitrogen will start to become less soluble. So it started going back to the gaseous state. So when it is dissolved gas, go back to the gaseous state, you know that bubbles forming, just like you're opening a can of water, carbonated drink. Similarly, the dissolved nitrogen in the blood is turning back to the gaseous state, and that creates formation of bubbles. This is how what happens when a dissolved gas moves from a liquid state, dissolved state to the gaseous state. So these bubbles, as it is happening inside your blood capillaries, these bubbles formed will create some blocks. That is the problem. If it has happened in the case of a can or a carbonated drink bottle, the bubbles formation is not an issue. But here the bubble formation is happening in your blood capillaries, where it is creating some blocks. This block is actually a painful situation or a medical condition called Benz, and this is even a life-threatening situation. So this is the reason why most of the scuba divers in the earlier attempt were like experiencing very life-threatening situation or even lead to their death because of this. Later only they started using special cylinders filled with diluted air. Diluted air means they don't take a normal air, they take a special composition where helium is added. Usually helium is not there in the normal. 78 is nitrogen, 21% is oxygen, and 1% is all the other gases too, all together, right? So here they use special diluted air where 11.7% is helium, 56.2% is nitrogen. That is less than the normal amount. Normal amount is 78. Now it is only 56.2, and oxygen is again normal, more amount than that of normal air. So it is 32.1. So that they can avoid the situation or the serious conditions like death. So that is the one way. Another third application of Henry's law. Yeah, is that clear, Jahan? Yeah. So that is about third explanation. Fourth and the final one, related to the application of Henry's law is that this is again you can easily connect those people who are living in the higher altitude, okay, or those who are going for the climbing like Mount Everest or something like that. As a climbers, these two type of people experience another medical condition called anoxia. Anoxia is something like, as you know, that when you are moving up, pressure decreases. When you are moving down, pressure increases. So the people who is living in the higher altitude or those who are climbing a mountain, they experiences less pressure. Less pressure means the amount of oxygen that will be dissolving in your blood will be decreasing. So less oxygen soluble in your blood mean the ability to think normally will be stopped. You can't take a decision. That is the main reason why those who are like climbing on mountains, even in Mount Everest and all, they lead to the death because they are unable to take a proper decision, the correct route or something, because they are unable to take a decision because of the less oxygen level in their blood than the normal conditions. So those who are living at higher altitude and also the climbers, they experience a medical condition called anoxia. That is a condition where amount of dissolved oxygen in your blood is less than the normal. So when the oxygen is less, our ability to think normally is affected. So that is a condition called anoxia. So that is also a real life example where you can apply Henry's law. Here the reason is because pressure is very low in the higher altitude. Pressure is low means less solubility of oxygen gas. Is that clear? So here basically third and fourth example is related to some medical condition benzene anoxia, they used to ask about related to this one, scuba divers and also the climbers or the people living at a higher altitudes. Okay, so done. Can we move? Yeah. So now I think I got 2 or 3 questions numerical based on Henry's law before we proceed to the next question. No, before that I got some limitations. Yeah. Limitations of Henry law. There are 3 limitations. The first one, this Henry's law is applicable only to certain gas solute which is showing ideal behavior at high temperature and low pressure. If the temperature is high and the pressure is low, in that case, if the gas is, we discussed about what is ideal and non-ideal gas last year, right? Based on the ideal gas equation, yeah? So similarly, only those gas which can behave ideally at high temperature and low pressure, only such gases will follow Henry's law. So that is the one limitation. It can't be applicable to all the gases. It is applicable to only certain gas molecules or solutes which behaves ideally at high temperature and low pressure. So that is the main first limitation or the drawback of Henry's law. Not drawback, it's the limitation of Henry's law. Second application or the limitation is that if a gas solute is undergoing association or dissociation, then such kind of gas cannot follow the Henry's law. What they meant by association and dissociation? Because Henry's law is when you have a gas dissolving in a liquid. That is what it's applicable, right? A gas is a solute, gas is the solute, and liquid is the solvent. That is the case here, it is applicable. Solvent. So that is the case where Henry's law is applicable to a gas getting dissolved in a solvent, liquid state. So in such cases, if a gas molecule after dissolving may combine with its own atom to form a single unit, dimerization, or 2 or 3 molecule joins as and it act as a one unit. That is what they meant by association. So once the gas is dissolved, if the gas can combine together to make us a smaller unit, that is what they meant by association. But for some other gases, dissociation happen. That means your gas molecule I'm unable to write. Okay. Yeah. They break down to form 2 other units. That is what dissociation. So if a gas after dissolving either undergo association means joining 2 or 3 units together as a one, that is what association. Dissociation means the gas molecule breaks down and forms a single unit, that is what dissociation. If either of them is happening, then that such gas solute cannot follow Henry's law. So Henry's law is applicable when there is no dissociation or association happening to the gas. If it associates or dissociates after dissolving in a liquid, then such gas molecule cannot follow Henry's law. So that is the second limitation.
Associate as in 2 gases again come together.
Yeah, say example, it's not applicable like carbon dioxide and nitrogen. There are certain gases like vapors where they combine to and exist as a dimers. So they undergo association. 2 or more unit joins and exist as one unit. Or sometimes they break down to form a similar unit after dissolving. After dissolving. So either association or dissociation happens after dissolving, then this law is not applicable to such system. So that is the second limitation of Henry's law, that it's not applicable to the gases which undergo association or dissociation after dissolving in the liquid. And the third limitation, if a gas is dissolving in a liquid and along with dissolving, it also undergo a reaction to give you a product, then such gas also cannot follow Henry's law. It should not be reacting with the liquid. The gas plus solvent. That is what Henry's law. Gas is in the solute and solvent is in the liquid state. After dissolving, they should remain as individual unit. There should not be any reaction. If at all they are reacting, the gas and the solvent is reacting and to give you a product, in such cases also Henry's law is not followed. So there should not be any product formed by the dissolution or by the reaction of the gas with the liquid. If at all a product is formed, then such systems won't be satisfying Henry's law. So that is the third limitation. So there are three major limitations of Henry's law. First one, it is only applicable to those gases which can behave ideally at high temperature and low pressure. That is the first drawback or the limitation. Second limitation is then there should not be any association or dissociation happening to the gas solute once they dissolve in the solvent. If at all anything happens, then that is not followed by following the Henry's law. Third and the final limitation is that if you are getting a product after dissolving a gas in a solvent, such system also cannot follow the Henry's law. So these are the major three limitation, not very important, but still we can expect anything, right? Usually they don't ask for it all, but still. So I hope it's clear to all of you. Yeah? Johan, you're sleepy. Next is what I said about the numerical. There are 2 or 3 others. So can I change the slide?
Sure, ma'am. Okay.
Yes or no? I didn't get it clearly.
I'm just one.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Just take 1 second.
See, here there I finished writing, looking at the board.
Yes, ma'am, I guess we can.
Oh. So this is the first one. Calculate the solubility of carbon dioxide in water in term of mole fraction if the partial pressure of carbon dioxide is 2 into 10 raised to minus 8 bar at 298 Kelvin. The KH, that is Henry's law gas constant, is given as 6.02 into 10 raised to minus 4 bar. Direct question, just apply to write the unsubstituted equation first, then substitute the values and you will get the final answer. Write the question and solve it. Solubility means it depends on the concentration. How much a gas is soluble, that means they are talking about the concentration. That is why they used mole fraction to express the solubility. So what is the equation? Which equation you gonna use here? What is the equation? Henry's law equation.
Ma'am, it's a textbook question.
What was the equation?
Partial
pressure of the gas is equal to Henry's constant into mole fraction of the gas. So here it is carbon dioxide. So you can, instead of writing G, you can write CO2. That is also fine. You write partial pressure of carbon dioxide is equal to Henry's constant with mole fraction of CO2. So here what you have to calculate is CO2. So partial pressure of CO2 by kH. It's a direct question. You have to just substitute the value 2 into 10 raised to minus 8.
Ma'am, is this a textbook question?
I don't remember whether it's textbook. I got it from somewhere. It could be there in the textbook. Yeah. So you will get your final answer. Let me know what is the answer you're getting.
3.32 into 10 raised to the power minus 3. 3.32 into 10 raised to the power minus 3.
What is the unit? What is the unit, Muzamil?
Ma'am,
Unit of mole fraction?
ma'am, unit of mole fraction is
10 raised to minus 5, I guess.
There is no unit for mole
No,
fraction. Don't
actually, yeah.
turn.
Even I got 10 raised to minus 5.
10 raised to minus 5. You're getting it as minus 5?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, 10 raised to minus 5. This is the final answer. Should be 10 raised to. Muzamil, check again, okay? 10 raised to minus. Check whether all of you are getting it without using the calculator. Using calculator, it's easy.
Ma'am?
Yes?
The final value doesn't have any unit, right?
Yeah, no unit because it's mole fraction. No, mole fraction is number of moles in numerator and again the number of moles in denominator. So it's a unitless.
Okay, ma'am.
We're supposed to get. I have 2 more questions based on Henry's law that we'll discuss in the last video. Okay?
Yes, ma'am, no problem. Thank you, ma'am.
I should say no problem.
Wait, what is the
3.32.
Now we finished, we can leave.
No, wait. You have to wait.
I'm leaving it.
Muzamil can leave only at last and by ensuring that all are left without making any noise. You don't have to mind. No, it's your responsibility to ensure that all are leaving without making any noise. Okay?
Sure, ma'am, I don't mind.
Okay then. Bye.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you,
Ma'am,
ma'am.
how many days will there be lab in May?
Yes, Muzamil.
Ma'am, there'll be lab, right, in May?
We are planning to. The
Ma'am, so how
final
many
time
days would there be?
that I don't know.
Okay, thank you.
If I'll get information, I'll share with you for sure.
Okay, thank you.